Welcome back. South Africa's agriculture sector is a hotspot for international investors, both because it is diverse and also ripe for potential. My colleague Zanella Morrison caught up with Singapore-based entrepreneur Shyan Wong on why he continues to invest in the sector. Let's listen in.
I think many of us depends on loan. Loan is not easy, and they are saddled with repayment, and they have to make, the margin is being squeezed, and you still have to pay the dividends, and you have to pay the interest. In the business school, we tend to say that loan is cheap compared to equity, but when you're a startup or when you're really squeezed, I think equity is a lot cheaper than loan. So when I talk equity, I'm not talking about giving preference shares. I'm talking about common stock, normal shares. So if you have access to venture capital and those who didn't ask for preference shares, I think that is a much better deal, right?
So when we say unconventional methods, what are the possibilities, or what are the different types of unconventional methods that we need to think of?
Actually, what is unconventional here could be just conventional in our part of the world. So let's say young guys, or even restructured firms or older companies that need to scale up, they raise fund. Okay, they raise fund from new markets, like for you, there are new markets like Tokyo, Hong Kong, Singapore, Dubai, or even Sydney. I think that is something that we should explore. The problem is that many entrepreneurs do not know how to pitch, okay? How do you pitch in 4 minutes and how to pitch 12 minutes? What is the narrative they want to present? I think that's very important.
Yes, yes. So you're also broadening the market, because we often think of raising funds locally. We go to the nearest place. Is there extra cash available in Singapore, in China? Is there money that's waiting for opportunities?
I think countries like Singapore are flush with money. Right now, with family officers and people moving out of China, there are more money than good projects. And in South Africa, you have tremendously blessed with good projects. Right? And the people here are vibrant, they are daring, the ideas are good, even the technical competency is very, very high here.
Yes, yes. So we have a lot to offer, but I think we don't know. We think less of what we have than what we should. I mean, speak about the food. We've got incredible food in South Africa. Is there even greater export opportunities and partnerships opportunities?
Oh, yes. I think agriculture, you guys produce very good quality products. This, for example, your dry fruits are great. But I think the idea is how do we brand it to get a kind of premium. If you just do agriculture as per agriculture per se, I think the farmers are getting a raw deal. But a lot can be done in the branding of that, and to try out new markets as well. Not all your food actually make it to Japan, okay, where there's a premium, or even Korea or Singapore. And especially now, when the whole world is very worried, we are worried about the food supply chain security, right? The food supply chain and the security of that. So I think this is the time, and people are willing to invest to procure the kind of security.
Yeah. Right. There are also some very interesting projects where we've seen people, the Asian market comes in, and they also invest in your ability to produce products.
Yes, something like futures. Imagine some of the farmers, instead of getting uncertainty, okay, you need capital, we pump in the capital to secure like futures, but except that it's not trading futures, but it's more in the real sense to be implemented. I think that is something good for the farmer.
Yes, very little known. I mean, things like ducks and chickens and eggs and all of that. There's so many. It's happening in South Africa. Where are you having these conversations? How are we going to raise awareness for these methods at a broader scale than what's happening now?
Excuse me. I think a lot of these could be based on the consistency of supply. I think for example, let's say agriculture like sheep, goats. I'm not so sure about chicken and ducks in this part of the world, but I think in terms of number of sheep that you guys produce, yeah, it's just that today we are not soft. How do you quarantine and how you export them, right? But in terms of frozen food, I think you guys are able to do it in a big way.
Yeah.
But the trick is that how do you brand something, right? For the entire world, we are going to see another shortage of fisheries. And we are transforming fisheries from agriculture into industry. Now we are trying to rear fishes in the factory, and vertical farming here is good. The trick is that how do you produce and make it efficient, cost effective? When you move, when you transfer your produce from here to the market, I think we need to really have a concerted plan. Cold chain, your food supply chain, all needs to be in sync.
Yeah.
Right, for that.
Absolutely, the entire value chain. You are not deterred by the South African complexity of our market. Is it not daunting?
Yeah.
To operate in our market? You know our challenges.
Yes, I understand the demographic as well, and for me, even the currency now, for me, it's an opportunity. So there are two ways to look at that. You cannot get the ideal situation, right? You make the best of what you have. Here we can see that. It is not easy to get an opportunity like this, right? And now the investment will come in here. Actually, you get much more for your dollar now.
Yes.
Right? Go back to the fundamentals. When you produce things like good quality stuff, like food and so on, we should not be speculative. We should be long term.
Okay. That was entrepreneur Shyan Wong. Let's get to Vodacom's numbers now, with the company reporting a 6.4% drop in headline earnings.